In LA this week.
LA funeral homes are put on notice after one accused of deceptive business practices must now shell out a lot of money. I'm Gil Reyes with news grieving families need to know.
The latest addition to the Los Angeles Fire Department to better help serve Angelenos. I'm Rasha Goel, and that story's up next.
I'm Anna Marcos. Want to help kids read more? How about bringing in Dodgers player Ross Stripling to read to them? More on the LA Public Library Summer Reading Challenge coming up.
Hey everybody, welcome to LA This Week. I'm your host, Yana Kay, and we've got a lot of great stories for you, so let's get right to it. Dealing with the death of a loved one is difficult enough. Now imagine being duped into paying more than you should for burial or cremation. It happens a lot, but as Gil Reyes reports, the LA City Attorney's Office is cracking down.
It is a fate worse than death. Grieving families paying for a loved one's funeral also being cheated out of money and services. The LA City Attorney's Office aims to put a stop to this.
It is a gut-wrenching time. It is not a time to be taken unfair advantage of by a business.
City Attorney Mike Feuer accuses Agape Funeral Home here in South Los Angeles of deceptive business practices in violation of California law. Agape has agreed to pay a $20,000 settlement, and now a warning goes out to other funeral homes to clean up their act. Funeral homes must provide updated price lists of funeral services to customers. Price lists must be made available in person or on the internet under state law. Not having them opens up the possibility of price gouging. Agape is accused of failing to provide a list and jacking up prices to undercover cops posing as customers.
Prices can vary wildly for these really consequential services. And we also know, I think each of us who's gone through this can say, that family members aren't going to comparison shop at this point once they are in a funeral home,
making them easy victims. Agape is also accused of telling customers that embalming is required when it is not. Been duped into paying more than you should for a funeral? The City Attorney's Office wants to hear from you. Call them at 213-978-8340. I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Investigations last year found several LA funeral homes in violation of the rules. Within a year, 5 of those businesses began complying. Agape did not. The City Attorney's Office promises to crack down on other funeral homes caught breaking the rules. With LA's peak brush fire season at hand, the LAFD receives a gift at the perfect time, one that will better help the department. Rasha Goel has more.
Griffith Park had a fire, and it was steps away from over 2,000 visitors and just next to the iconic Griffith Observatory. As a council member of Griffith Park, it's the call you never want to get. But in a matter of minutes, LAFD was on the scene, coordinating with the Recreation and Parks and the Department of Transportation to evacuate the area and stop the fire's advance. At least 2 of the 4 engines you see here today were at the action, were at the Griffith Park fire, and they all made they made that difference in putting out this fire quickly and effectively.
Councilman David Rue is referring to the latest addition of fire engines that were made possible by the SAFER grant, a federal grant that was awarded to the Los Angeles Fire Department last year. The $15.4 million federal grant helped fund these 4 fire trucks with the additional staff that was needed.
The $15 million grant application was awarded by the Federal Emergency Management Agency to fund 48 firefighter positions. With this grant, we were able to restore firefighter positions to fire stations 1, 20, 73, and 75 in the communities of Mission Hills, Reseda, Echo Park, and Lincoln Heights.
These fire engines and firefighters come at a much-needed time.
The summer fire season now is in high gear, and every Angeleno has a role to play. So we have to be prepared for any situation. We have to be aware of what we can do to clear brush, to alert people quickly when we see things. And when the rising temperatures and drier weather bring with them more intense and dangerous fires, it's absolutely imperative that we remain vigilant.
Councilman Bob Blumenfield's district also experienced the benefit of having these additional fire engines available.
We had a commercial fire, and they were able to make a dramatic impact to prevent the spread of that fire. So we're already seeing the benefits of these engines and this engine company, and this is a banner day for the city where we are going to be protected and safer.
This grant from FEMA was the largest grant in the program's 12-year history. From the Dodger Stadium, I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
Officials say in 2011, the Los Angeles Fire Department was heavily impacted when 300 positions, 7 truck companies, and 11 engine companies were permanently eliminated. This grant has helped provide those much-needed resources. Well, fire services eliminated during the Great Recession have returned to some of the hottest parts of the city. Gil Reyes reports from one simmering section of the San Fernando Valley.
Families in the great community of Reseda are safer this summer now that a fire engine company absent for 7 years is back in action.
I sleep better at night, and I hope all of you sleep better at night, knowing that we have these resources to protect all of you kids that are here, all of the community that's around here.
Valley Councilman Bob Blumenfield welcomed the new engine company to Reseda's Fire Station 73. The old engine company was slashed by the budget acts of the Great Recession, but now with the economy improving, it is back, and with a shiny new engine, plus 12 more firefighters at the station to operate the vehicle. They've arrived just in time.
We see that the call loads are increasing, and it's putting a greater demand in our department, so this will facilitate our success in providing that public safety and emergency services.
A $15 million federal grant has helped restore engine companies axed during the recession. The city kicked in an extra $10 million for good measure. Engine companies in Mission Hills, Echo Park, and Lincoln Heights are also back in action. In Reseda, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The city has hired 48 new firefighters to free up staff to operate the 4 newly restored engine companies. Councilman Blumenfield says he's worked with the firefighters union to help increase funding for services over the past several years. Well, you might be able to catch a few more Z's in the morning before hopping on that bus to work. That's because Metro's new all-door boarding service is speeding things up. Anna Marcos explains.
Mayor Eric Garcetti is throwing out Metro tap cards like they're confetti, and Metro bus riders are going to want those tap cards. That's because boarding the bus from any door and tapping your card is about to become the new wave of the future. The Vermont Avenue Rapid Bus Line 754 becomes one of the first bus lines to get all-door boarding, and Garcetti wants to make sure you know how to use it. Enter from any bus door and tap your card. If you don't have one, you can buy one at the front of the bus.
Transportation happiness, things that we want to do to make sure that as you move in and around our city, you have guarantees around things that transportation will be reliable, that it will be affordable, that it will be equitable. As part of the transportation revolution, we're going to make sure that saving you time and customers being first is our #1 priority.
City leaders say the all-door boarding program cuts down on the time buses spend idling at bus stops, since more people can board at once. A trial run of the program on the San Pedro Silver Line has resulted in a 10% improvement in on-time performance.
People on our trains, people on our buses deserve to make sure they have a more pleasurable, faster, better experience.
Faster boardings mean a faster trip. A faster trip means more people will use the system. More people using the system means that there will be less gridlock on our streets.
And come October, the Rapid Line 720 on Wilshire Boulevard will also hop onto the all-door boarding program. So get ready for a smoother, quicker ride on Metro as more buses open their doors to all-door boarding. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
The new service on the Vermont Rapid Bus Line 754 began in July. Well, where in Los Angeles can you experience a beautiful mix of nature and culture? Well, Rasha Goel has more on an iconic festival that has become a favorite among Angelenos.
It's an exciting time to experience these beautiful lotus flowers in Los Angeles while getting a taste of different Asian cultures. This year's 38th Lotus Festival was held at Echo Park Lake and had plenty for people to enjoy.
We have such a large Asian Pacific American presence in Los Angeles, and that really is why the Lotus Festival was born over 38 years ago now. And it's an opportunity sort of to take stock in our rich cultural diversity that we have here.
Every year there's a different host country. This year's was China. A fun fact, it was in 1932 at LA's first Olympics where the first Chinese athletes competed.
43% of the goods that come into America come through our port and the Port of Long Beach. Most of that comes from China. We also see the importance of cultural exchange and educational exchange, and we just love each other.
There was a variety of food to choose from, games, crafts, and so much for the entire family. And some enjoyed the lake. Or for those who were up for some competition, there were dragon boat races. Among the competitors this year were members from Council District 1 and 13 who showed off their skills in the water. And the winner? Council District 13 between the two. For some here, it's a festival they've attended for years.
It's definitely a great event. Like I said, I've been coming here since I was a kid, so it's something that, for me, it's nostalgic, you know, to come and bring my kid now and have her experience the same thing that I experienced as a kid.
The Lotus Festival was held for 2 days. I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
Echo Park can also be enjoyed year-round thanks to a $47 million improvement plan. Well, mainstays at downtown's successful Art Walk talk about its history, their favorite parts, and improvements they want to see. Gil Reyes reports from the Spring Art Tower at the heart of this popular stroll.
For one night out of the month, it's busier than usual in downtown. People fill the streets for several blocks to sample art and live music at more than 35 welcoming galleries. It is Art Walk night.
Art Walk has been going on for 14 years. It's the second Thursday of every single month. Rain or shine, hot or cold, we're here on the streets of downtown Los Angeles, mostly Spring, Main, and then the connecting streets to the downtown financial district.
We spoke to Art Walk Executive Director Catherine Brem at Spring Arts Tower. This old bank building is now home to several studios and the last bookstore. Established at its current location in 2011, California's largest book and record store is a maze of hanging books, public art, hidden side rooms, and more than 100,000 paperbacks and hardcovers for sale. The studio of assemblage artist David Lovejoy is also located at Spring Arts Tower.
Yes, I started as a clay artist, and actually it was moving into Pasadena about 12 years ago that changed that for me.
Why? What happened?
I moved into an old craftsman home, my wife and I, and the electrical system there couldn't support my kilns, so I couldn't fire anything for several months.
So he turned his attention to piecing things together out of spare parts. A lot of interesting things to see at David Lovejoy's studio, and everything's for sale. His favorite piece?
I think my favorite piece in here is the Jangalodian piano that's here behind me, and it is my favorite because of the interactivity of it. I have great experiences with strangers because of that, because it's an instrument that's meant to be played by several people at once.
A communal experience, Art Walk has given much-needed exposure to local artists and continues to be a vital part of downtown's resurgence. Its popularity is the reason why Wren Gallery owner Renee Warner opened her space in downtown, but she has one request.
I'd like to change it to being a weekend event because I think it's a little difficult, especially as how busy as downtown is now with all the construction, for people to get down here on a Thursday night. So I would love to see Art Walk on a Saturday or a Sunday. That would be the only change I'd ever make to it.
Bring comfortable shoes and we'll see you there. At downtown LA's Art Walk, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Downtown LA Art Walk also offers tours of must-see exhibitions and events. Find out more at downtownartwalk.org. Well, it's one way to eat out and pay less. The dineLA program appears to have a winning recipe for any money-conscious food lovers out there. Anna Marcos herself does a little culinary exploration at one participating restaurant. Anna.
Yana, want to take a bite of the LA gastronomic experience? With the dineLA program, you can take that big bite while it takes a smaller bite out of your pocket.
This is the Thai iced tea we offer here. We have noodles, a Thai iced tea, simple syrup, and lime.
The lunchtime crowd is filling the house at the We Have Noodles restaurant in Silver Lake, a place to get just about any kind of Asian noodle dish. And restaurant managers say the dineLA program, which they've joined, is definitely helping to make their business sizzle.
Well, considering we're a new restaurant, it just kind of helps bring the awareness about what we're doing around here, especially in this neighborhood. There's a lot of competition, a lot of restaurants, so being a part of dineLA just helps us spread the word.
dineLA is celebrating 10 years of tantalizing Angelino foodies' taste buds. Twice a year, in summer and fall, some 400 restaurants join the dineLA experience for 15 days. What that means for you is that these restaurants offer special value meals, which often include 3 courses and are about 20% off the regular menu. All you have to do is ask for the dineLA menu to get the special deals.
I would imagine it's just like an event that draws people in, so yeah, probably they get to try more stuff than they normally would.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more so for the experience, I think, than, the actual discount or anything.
Still, many of us like both the food scene experience and the discount.
dineLA is the best time to get out there and explore LA through its food. We have the best food scene in the country right now. We're a big melting pot of cultures here in LA. LA has so many different pockets, and each neighborhood and pocket has such a great food scene.
In fact, since dineLA began, LA has become a culinary mecca, often making it on food lists as one of the food hotspots in the country. And as if you needed any more motivation to chow down, here's one more, the dineLA Golden Dish Giveaway.
So this season we are giving away 100,000 American Airlines miles, which is very exciting. So one winner is going to be handed this golden dish.
And it's totally random. So if you're ever eating at a dineLA participating restaurant, you just might get presented with the check and a golden dish. Just one more incentive to become a dineLA foodie. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
For more information on dineLA and on which restaurants are participating, visit dineLA.com. Well, here's one way to get kids to read. Bring in an LA Dodgers player to read to them. The Summer Library Reading Series does just that. Kids at Echo Park's Edendale Library found themselves face-to-face with LA Dodgers player Ross Stripling. Anna Marcos takes us there.
Oh, wait, I changed my mind again. Sorry.
All-Stars LA Dodgers pitcher Ross Stripling doesn't just know how to play ball. He can work a room of 100 kids and keep them entertained with his reading skills. It's all part of the LA Public Library's Summer Library Reading Series in a joint effort with the LA Dodgers Foundation.
Make a scary face. I like the first book I read where everyone got up. I told them to stand up and then sit back down and stand up, and they had to act like there was a bug on their nose and then in their mouth. That was funny.
When have you seen kids pay this much attention to the 3 R's?
Well, I know yesterday the Dodgers won, so I'm pretty proud of them, so let's go Dodgers.
But this wasn't just all about entertainment. There was also a pitch for reading, staying educated, and staying in school.
We have been partnering and having the Dodgers come and provide story times. We have 10 this year.
I think it's important to have a role model and someone that they can look up to and say, hey, reading's important, education's important, going to college is important, and set you up for a bright future. And hopefully that resonates with them. Even if it just resonates with one kid, then that works.
Involve cats or feathers because they make them sneak.
Apparently, at least one kid was listening. So what does he think this reading pitch is all about?
So we can learn when we grow up, and then we get smarter.
All right. What do you want to do when you grow up?
I want to be a marine biologist.
That's pretty smart.
All I have to do is just learn how to swim.
I think it's pretty cool because then it has
the younger kids have their role models and they get us, have them teach them something.
You guys good with baseball? Who likes baseball? Anybody? We got Dodger fans in here?
And of course, it wouldn't be a Dodgers reading series without some kind of baseball. This book about a kid who keeps striking out and then finally wins big after many tries seemed to hit the spot. A little inspiration and a lot of fun and games. A recipe that might turn a few more of these kids into lifelong readers. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
This was the third library to get a Dodgers visit this year in the Summer Library Reading Series. The LA Fire Department expands on a successful pilot program. Salsa lovers come out in droves for some dancing and eating, and a busy stretch of Beverly Boulevard is about to get a lot safer. All these stories in Citybeat. LAFD Chief Ralph Terraza has joined local hospital officials to announce the expansion of the successful Advanced Provider Response Unit program. 2.5 years after launching the first APRU, the LAFD has added 3 new units to its fleet, providing direct, advanced on-scene medical care to patients who may not require immediate transportation to the emergency room. 2 additional units will be coming online soon.
50% of the time, the APRU can treat and release a patient on scene, thereby eliminating a lengthy hospital transport, a very expensive hospital bill, while at the same time helping to ease emergency room overcrowding.
The 2-day, 3rd annual Latin Salsa Festival came to Pershing Square recently, featuring live salsa music and dancing, salsa tastings, and margarita vendors. More than 20,000 folks came out for the weekend festival. The organizer said she grew up with salsa festivals in her hometown and wanted to bring it to LA.
So I decided to organize a festival, a yearly festival that would include salsa dancing, salsa tasting, salsa music.
Los Angeles City Council member Mitch O'Farrell and the city's Bureau of Street Services broke ground on improvements along a 2.5-mile stretch of Beverly Boulevard to create a walkable, more pedestrian-friendly environment. The improvements include new crosswalks, curb ramps, driveways, enhanced irrigation, trees, and bike racks. All will be concentrated at busy intersections within commercial and residential areas. A new green food oasis just popped up in downtown LA. Union Station just got its first farmers market. Anna Marcos takes us there.
Union Station is no longer just a place to catch a ride. You can also catch your weekly dose of greens and other healthy foodstuffs before hopping on the train or bus. A new farmers market has sprouted at the downtown LA landmark.
I love farmer market stuff. I always like to buy fresh. That's me. Fresh fruit, fresh vegetables all the time, every day.
It took several years of talks with Union Station, but farmers market organizers finally got their slot, and it looked pretty popular even on the first day of business.
We have nuts, hummus, everything you could want, drinks, everything, flowers, the whole 9 yards. We've got it.
The empanadas were delicious, and the avocado toast was to die for.
And that avocado toast has plenty of healthy green stuff on it, too. Or for the cholesterol lovers, the mayo and pastrami is right next door, or ham, or whatever you want. The point is you can find just about anything to eat, cooked and uncooked, blue, green, orange, or red.
I think it's a wonderful idea to bring it. It's about time that they bring something like this to downtown LA at Union Station.
You can take a ride to healthier eating and grocery shopping at the Union Station Farmers Market every Thursday from 12 to 6, and even have a drink on the side. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
For more info, visit the Farmers Market website at ccfm.com. Do you miss going to the drive-in? Well, here's your chance to relive some memories or make new ones. Enjoy a Shakespeare play in the Valley and experience a new bold flavor and culture at the Taste of Ecuador. All this in this week's Things to Do. My Valley Pass presents its 2nd annual San Fernando Valley Summer Drive-In Nights, benefiting the Valley Relics Museum. Last year's drive-in event brought movie fans from all over LA to the Lake Balboa complex for 4 nights of films shot in the San Fernando Valley, that included E.T., Back to the Future, The Karate Kid, and La Bamba. This year's movie lineup will be just as much fun with Fast Times at Richmond High, Back to the Future Part 2, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and Selena, which will be presented on a 60-foot screen in a retro drive-in setting. Each evening features pre-show music, food trucks, and special guests. This year will also include upgrades to the film's audio and projection capabilities, as well as the facilities. The drive-in nights take place August 3rd through the 11th from 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Lake Balboa Complex in Van Nuys. For more, visit myvalleypass.com. For audiences seeking quality family entertainment, Shakespeare by the Sea's free performances can't be beat. Pack a picnic, a blanket, and beach chair, gather loved ones, and settle in under the stars for a night of classic entertainment. On Saturday, August 4th, enjoy the Merry Wives of Windsor, taking place at the Los Encinos State Historic Park, located at 16756 Moore Park Street in Encino. Come out and celebrate the 20th annual Taste of Ecuador Food Festival and Parade. More than 10,000 Ecuadorians and 5,000 other folks from different nationalities will enjoy a full menu of Ecuadorian cuisine and some other well-known food dishes. Attendants will also enjoy Ecuadorian crafts, musical groups, folklore customs, commercial products, free gifts, carnival games, and more. The 20th annual parade starts at 11 a.m. on Broadway and 7th Street, going north on Broadway until 4th Street, then Main Street, ending at Placida Alvera. The parade will have car clubs, dance groups, drill teams, convertibles, motorcycles, 24 beauty queens, and various businesses. It all takes place Sunday, August 5th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at 425 North Los Angeles Street. And that's a look at some things to do.
You always know you're in for a rockin' good time at the Central Avenue Jazz Festival. And what's not to like? This year there were 4 music stages instead of 3, one dedicated entirely to jam sessions.
We've never had that before. Jazz is about improvisation.
Just pass and see and listen. Just listen.
You don't dance?
No.
You don't dance?
No, I don't know how to dance.
Okay, we all know people come for the jazz, but Council District 9 organizers weren't just watching out for your musical well-being. They were after your health and financial well-being as well.
Checking my blood pressure.
There were 4 pavilions, one covering things like health and screening checkups.
CD9 has a lot of residents that don't have access to top-notch health care, and we want to make sure that we're participating as a good partner in the community, assisting our residents to get quality health care.
There was a pavilion for jobs and business opportunities.
We've always had this pavilion, but this year we made sure that we were focusing on bringing in organizations that had jobs available now.
Another pavilion focused on the arts, while a 4th focused on youth. And this year, LACMA teamed up to teach children art classes, while another class taught regular old folks like you and me how to get that Latin drum rhythm going.
We have Latin percussion for the first time again this year, doing a rumba in the park. They'll be teaching children, youth, adults how to drum.
And if you needed to take a breather from all that Latin drumming and jazz jamming and all the great music by Pete Escovedo and Earth, Wind & Fire, well, not only was there food to relax with, for the first time, there were food trucks.
The people will come for the music, but they'll stay for the fun.
This jazz festival provided food for the soul, mind, body, and even your pocketbook. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition. I'm Yana Kane from all of us here at LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacitybeat.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.